Hello and welcome to Newsform. I'm your host Chris for the CHRILLCAST, and today we have some interesting news, but we're going to cover it differently than everybody else is because I'm reading the reporting and I'm seeing some things that nobody else is talking about. So here we go. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Square Enix sells all of its Western game studios and their games to Embracer. $300 million deal includes over 50 classic games rights, over 1,000 devs. On Monday, Japanese game publisher Square Enix confirmed that it was selling all three of its Western video game studios, along with many significant game series and intellectual property attached to those studios. The European game publisher Embracer, which if you didn't know used to go by THQ Nordic, that should ring a bell. The sale includes game studios Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, and Square Enix Montreal. All three had been previously wholly owned by Square Enix, and Embracer will acquire their entire staffs combined at roughly 1,100 people, along with popular IPs such as Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Legacy of Kain, and a game publishing catalog of over 50 games for $300 million. Not all of the deal's IP has been confirmed thus far, however, and an announcement from Square Enix indicates that its Western operations will continue to publish franchises such as Just Cause, Outriders, and Life is Strange. This suggests that Square Enix will retain some of its Western-specific IP, and that its future collaborations with Western game makers will come via publishing deals with outside developers. While the console manufacturers Microsoft and Sony have racked up headlines thanks to their own megaton game maker acquisitions over the past few years, including Bungie and Activision, and Bethesda, Embracer has quietly built its own roster of predominantly European studios over the past decade. It was better known by the name THQ Nordic beginning in 2014 after picking up the rights to that fallen publisher's name, though not all of its games, and its biggest acquisition in the past 12 months have included video game maker Gearbox Software and board game producer Asmodee Games. Do you know who Asmodee is? Asmodee, whatever they are? That's these guys. They own Catan. More importantly, they own Starfield. Oops, that's a thing. They own my favorite board game ever, and I didn't even know it. Like, that's massive. I mean, when you're talking about board games, Catan, like, what's bigger than Catan in regards to like your hardcore, you know, your what's the right word? Lead into more hardcore gaming. A lot of people start with Catan and move on to bigger, better board games. I mean, I had no idea that even happened, but that's huge. Anyways, Gearbox also huge, but as far as the board games world goes, I had no idea that Embracer Group was moving into physical trading cards and board games and that kind of stuff. So I wonder what in the world their plan is. Are they going to be a full-blown media company with movies, music, games? I don't know. It's interesting. Let's keep going. Looking at the balance sheet, however, those two deals exceeded $1 billion, while today's Square Enix deal falls well short of that number. The discrepancy feels curious in light of Square Enix itself announcing that Tomb Raider lifetime game sales had exceeded 85 million during the series' 25th anniversary celebration in October. As a comparison, that sales number is neck and neck with one of Square Enix's most beloved game series, Dragon Quest, which had sold over 83 million games as of August last year. Since it's a full IP acquisition, Embracer will also likely claim the rights to Tomb Raider's legacy as a Hollywood film series. The company has yet to confirm whether previously rumored Lara Croft related productions, one live action, one anime, are still in the works. Square Enix's recent handling of Western properties has had some issues, particularly after it put a ton of its Western studios' eggs into the uneven games as a service basket of Marvel's Avengers. That wasn't a good idea. Only to see its 2020 launch fall well short of critical and sales expectations. This was followed by the critical 2021 darling, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, helmed by Eidos Montreal, falling short of sales expectations. Between those disappointments and the utter silence of Deus Ex as a sci-fi adventure series since 2016, perhaps Square Enix's estimation of its combined Western studios' value had fallen. Still, Embracer Group wasted no time beating the drum of its newly acquired IP. Its announcement of the deal confirmed that development has already begun on the next mainline Tomb Raider game, complete with next-generation storytelling and gameplay experiences, while several other AAA projects were teased as being in development by the combined studios. Shortly after the announcement went live, Eidos Montreal confirmed in an Embracer conference call that its next major game would be set in the world of Deus Ex. The announcement didn't clarify exactly how Crystal Dynamics' recently announced work on the Microsoft-published Perfect Dark sequel will factor into this deal. Embracer Group is just huge. Like, as far as I knew, the most recent thing that I had even known about with them was that they used to be THQ Nordic. And then last year, at one point in time, looking through this mergers and acquisitions by Embracer Group, found out that they are actually the owner of Saber Interactive, which, if you didn't remember, owns Aspire Media, which is the company making Knights of the Old Republic remake for Sony. How crazy is that? This is the same company that is making the new KOTOR game. And now they own the Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy IP, probably. So really, Embracer Group's doing a lot of deals with Disney, kind of. I can't believe they own Asmodee. Like, that, I just found this out a few minutes ago, and I'm still reeling, trying to really understand. But essentially, it looks like they've already done over $2 billion in this particular company, getting Asmodee. Like, my goodness, 96% of Asmodee's shares. I can't believe that. That's like, from THQ Nordic to owning Catan. How many other companies in the gaming space, the video gaming space, own board game companies? Not many. I don't think very many at all. And they own KOTOR, and just, wow. In the last few years, they bought so many companies. They bought Beamdog. That's not a big deal. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Because it has the BioWare co-founder, former BioWare leader programmer, Cameron Topher. They've got this. They bought Square Enix, TBA for $300 million. Trying to see. Oh yeah, they got Dark Horse Media, so they own comic books companies. That's pretty crazy too. They've got a full-blown 3D animation studio. I don't know what Perfect World Entertainment is. Asmodee. That includes Catan Studio, Fantasy Flight Games, Lookout Games, Z-Man Games, all these like big board game companies. 3D Realms, Aspire, Gearbox. I didn't even know they got Gearbox. That still blows my mind too. That was in February of last year. The amount of games studios these guys own, and they're quality, high quality studios. It's not like these are a bunch of garbage studios they're picking up off nothing, no money. These are all worth a lot. And I know some of it was built up by THQ Nordic and now Embracer Group, but man, the gaming landscape has significantly changed. Anyways, what do you guys think about this acquisition? How do you feel about Square Enix selling off their Western IPs and Western studios? I'm just kind of surprised and a little bit taken aback, because I was more concerned about Microsoft and Sony, but now I'm kind of concerned about Embracer Group just buying everything. Maybe they'll get EA next. I don't know. As always, I'm Chris, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.